What's up, YouTubers? This is Mara here, and I'm gonna give you a very good intro about myself. So, to start off, I'm 22. I was born in Brooklyn, New York. I'm I'm doing this YouTube channel because I want to just I guess do something a little bit different from other YouTubers, or somewhat mix up what they have and try to create my own. But let's get to the point. My favorite things to do are swim, rollerblade, work out, and do some different martial arts. And play video games, to say the least. My first video game I ever played was Tomb Raider. I love that game because of how you get to when I was younger, I loved archaeology. I loved watching Jurassic Park, watching the people wipe off the bones. I love the movie The Mummy, even though that's kind of a little bit far-fetched off of that. I love reading books about Egypt, and Tomb Raider. She was always going into tombs. She was always finding puzzles that you have to solve, and it kind of fit into my whole theory of what I liked. And that was the first game I ever played. My first fighting game was Mortal Kombat. That is like the father of all fighting games. My favorite character was Sub-Zero. I loved his ice power. I loved how strong he was. I loved the feud that he had with Scorpion. Throughout the whole games, he's always had a feud with that guy. And I didn't quite understand it at first. And then after a while, as I got older, I got it and I understood why it was happening. And it's a pretty epic story. It's kind of foolish what happened, but it's a pretty good story. But I digress. I'm the kind of guy who you can talk to about anything. I won't judge you. I won't tell you it's wrong. The only time I ever tell my friends something is wrong, unless they were doing drugs, or they were about to steal something, or they were about to basically commit a felony. And that's never happened. I've never had a friend come to me about that shit. And I'm glad, because then I just look at you like, whoa, that's a little bit, you need to change that. Because you're either going to head to the grave, or going to head to jail. Which one do you want? But, moving on. I love to read. I love to go to Barnes and Nobles. My favorite books to read are my erotic gay books, gay romance. And I'm going to tell you why I love gay romance. But, as I move along. I love to read mysteries. I love to read series, movie series, books, or TV shows, or something that's just been created. When my thing about getting books is that I'll read the back of it, and if it interests me, I'll buy it. Or if the cover catches my eye, I'll buy it. I don't know how other readers do. I don't know how you other readers do, but that's how I choose my books. But going back to the whole gay love and romance that I like to read. I like to read romance books because I really have a hard trouble with dating, and I've had a lot of bad dating experiences in my life where I thought a person liked me, but it turns out they never did. There was always that whole theory where it goes into the friend zone, where I wasn't what they wanted. They wanted something else. They wanted those asshole type guys. They wanted guys who look like models. Some of them would just basically lead you on, and then they would cut you off right then and there. Or it was another deal where the person would either kiss you, and then they'll turn around and say, oh, I just want to be friends with you. I don't want to be nothing more. And that made me feel like something else. Then there was other people who wanted to change me, and I was just like, no. I haven't dated in 5 years, and I'm putting it out there. I haven't dated in 5 years. I'm not ashamed of that. I have been keeping it to myself, and that's perfect for me. But sometimes when I do read the romance books, it makes me feel sad because I don't have what that book is telling and what that book is really showing me. When I read books, I can imagine the whole scene in front of me, like I'm watching a movie. And I'm seeing it happen as I'm reading. I'm seeing all the stuff happen and in front of my eyes, and I'm just like, I probably would never have that. And I believe I would never have that. And that's horrible, but you gotta face reality sooner or later that that's never gonna happen to you. You can read about it, but it's never gonna happen. But this is where video games come into play. Video games always seem to track my mind off of it, because in video games you could be any character you want. You're portraying that character. You're controlling that character's life. You're controlling every action that that character does. That's what I love about video games, because that's an outlet for me. You can be someone else for a day, or for a whole day or a whole night if you want to. One of my favorite games I like to play with other people is Resident Evil. One of my friends named Yasmin, we played Resident Evil 6 together. That was an interesting thing to do because it was funny. You have fun. We had fun. Sometimes we end up hitting each other by mistake, and she was cracking jokes throughout the whole gameplay, and I was just like, oh god, like I don't want to laugh, but she's starting to make me lose focus. It was pretty interesting. And then there's another game I played with my other friend. I don't think I should mention her name. I don't know if she'll be mad or not, but her name is Shafika. We would play The Sims, and one thing's for sure, we always say this: we are God to these people, because The Sims, you can build houses, create people's lives. You can give them children if you wanted to. You can put them you can put them in any way, shape, or form if you wanted to. You could mix them with so many different people. You have that control. A lot of people say The Sims is a whack game. To me, it's not. It's very interesting because I'm building my own life. I'm basically making a story here. And it's my choice to either let it keep going or stop it at a certain point. I love to write stories, like about fantasy or mystery, because it shows my creative side. I love, for instance, I love fantasy art. And when I look at fantasy art, I love the whole design. I love people who do it. I give credit to all the people who do fantasy art, who do any type of art. It is impressive and it amazes me. I wish I could do that. I can if I tried, but I'll keep it as it is right now. One of my ultimate goals is to finish college and to become an actor. I would love to do horror movies, mystery, action. I would love to be a part of another Mission Impossible movie if that ever happens. I never really seen a Mission Impossible movie, but I like action movies. They're pretty interesting. Or The Expendables. If I'm able to get into the acting business, if I'm able to get a role in the next movie that's made, I would love to be a part of that. I'm the type of person where the message I give on this video is that live your dreams and don't let nobody else tear you down. I've been through that whole life of getting teared down. It happened in junior high school. I was bullied. I got food thrown at me. I got books. I felt like I was horrible. I felt like I felt ugly on the inside and on the outside as well, because that's what people used to call me. I got one friend from junior high school, and we've been friends for so long. The rest of those people I thought were my friends turned against me, and it's not. And it sucks because around that time in junior high, I wanted to end my life because of what I was going through. And people don't understand how hard bullying is and what the damage it can do to you. I'm one of those people that wanted to kill themselves, but they didn't do it. Reason is, my teacher found my note, she put me out of class, and we spoke, and then I had therapy. I had a lot of different things going on with me. I didn't really speak about it to my mom. I didn't tell anybody what was happening, and that's a bad thing to do. If something like that's happening, you should tell somebody, and I didn't do that. I just wanted to end my life straight there, right then and there. I didn't want to continue it. But I'm here now, and that's the past. If I became an actor, I would give a message where it's like, I would tell people this. This is the message I want to tell people. You do not have to be like all these other actors. You do not have to look like them. You do not have to have the same body form as them. You could be any shape or size you want, as long as you have the motivation, as long as you have the passion for it. Go ahead and do it. And that's what a lot of things are lacking nowadays, where a lot of people who are going into music or going into certain industries, they don't really have the passion for it. They just want the paycheck. And people need to realize if you don't get hired at certain places, you're not getting a paycheck. That career is just, it's not a solid career. You get paid, but you're not always going to be chosen for this movie. And you're not always going to be, your album is not always going to be sold. People are not going to buy it. And that's what other people don't understand. Like, not everyone's going to buy your merchandise. They're going to basically, when people don't do that, you need something to fall back on. You need a better thing to back you up. Like, if you graduate college and you go into that, or if you're still in college and you go into that, there's no problem with that. But as long as you have something to back yourself up on, to fall back on, you're good to go. I'm the type of person where I don't care what kind of clothes I wear. If it doesn't match, it doesn't match. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't let someone else change the way you dress. If you feel comfortable in it, then you stick to that style. That's your style. You created that style. No one else did. You did. And that's what I say. Stand by what you created, and don't let somebody else try to make you a copy of their self. One of my favorite heroes, superheroes of Marvel is Storm and Captain America. And my favorite villain of Marvel is Venom. My favorite villain, well, anti-hero of DC is Catwoman. My favorite villain is Bane. Granted, I don't really like any of the superheroes in DC. Well, I only like one, and it's from Young Justice. It's Aqualad. Okay, moving on. Moving on. I started this YouTube channel a while ago. First, it was just a video blog type thing, but now I just started to make it into something else. I wanted to make it into more of me talking about different topics, talking about myself sometimes, but this is going to be the only video where I talk about myself. And if any of you guys have different topics you want me to talk about, leave them in the comment section below, or whatever. Or you could message me on here, or you could write me on, well, I don't have my link to my Facebook on here. I'll do that later on when I decide to. But leave comments down below and tell me what stuff you want me to talk about, because I would definitely talk about it. So that's it, and later.